Non-black people sometimes use this term called playing the race card. And playing the race card means they bring up race. And it is funny to me because it seems to not want to deal with the history of this country. Now, this video is about Shedeur Sanders, but it is also about playing the race card. We know the type and demonstrate. When people demonstrate to you their expertise in certain areas, whether it's in math, whether it's in spelling, whether it's in cooking, whether it's in sewing, whether it's in any particular area, then you should believe them. You should believe that they can do it. Whether they're cooking in their kitchen or they cook in their aunt's kitchen or they come to the school and cook or they come to the church and cook, the person can cook. And this is the same thing with Shedeur Sanders. Was he able to play football at a high level at Division I Colorado? Was he able to play football at a high level at Jackson State? Was he able to play football at a high level at the quarterback position when he was in high school? And the answer to all of those questions is yes. So then the other question has to go, why then could a guy so good go from a first round draft pick to a fifth round draft pick, from a top 10 pick to the 144th pick, and they gave all these reasons because of his dad, because of his ego, because of his braggadocious nature. And all you see him in interviews is doing something different. Is not being the person that people said he was, of his dad not being around. And isn't it funny how African American men are disparaged, talked about, dragged, ran through the mud about not being in their children's lives, but when they are in their children's lives, it's seen as a detraction. And so just in regards to the game on Friday night, Shedeur Sanders demonstrated again what he was able to do. It was the poise. It was the skill of having an innate ability to put the ball in places where not regular people can put the ball in places. Now, we're not going to talk about that he didn't get any reps with the first team. We're not going to talk about that, he just got that information that he was going to start, a couple days before the start. But God don't like ugly. He don't like ugly nowhere. Football either. So you got two of his competitors, Pickett and Gabriel, are both hurting. Dalton not able to play. And so what do they got to do? They got to play Shedeur. And Shedeur is going to be Shedeur. What did he say in his press conference? That ball is going to be ball. It's going to do what it's going to do. But here's the thing that I want to say about playing the race card. We're not playing the race card. We don't play the race card. We just remind you that it's a deck of cards with race on it. We don't play the race card. We're just reminding you. Like when people talk about Black history and people and what we've had to experience, they want to go back to history. But I'm not going to go to history. What I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about right now in this country. They have done studies and research and said that if you have Black art and pictures with African Americans in it in your family to show that that house is owned by a Black family, that your house will be appraised for less. In this country right now, that's not me playing the black card. That is the research. They did a study of a C-suite lawyers, and they gave them this legal brief to read. And they had an African-American name, and they had a European-sounding name in that brief. And what they're trying to see is how people would talk about how well that brief was written. And the African American name got graded with terms like, we don't see how he's a lawyer. I don't see how he passed the bar. This is not very good. Needs a lot of work. With the white sounding name, they said this is very good, shows a lot of promise, going to be a great lawyer. But what was so telling was that it was the same brief. And the only thing they changed on it was the name. And you talk about African American people playing the race card. How about the fact that in this country right now, a white person with a high school degree makes more money than a black person with a college degree? In a country that's supposed to be about meritocracy, that's supposed to be about pulling yourself up by your bootstraps. Well, people didn't pull themselves up by the bootstraps, and still they are making less money than somebody that did not go to college. Now, I can go on with these type of statistics. I'll do the last one because it is related to gender. There's something called the gender pay equity. And when people look at it, they talk about how women aren't paid the same as men. But it is broken down on a racial scale. Say a white man makes $100,000 as a lawyer, whatever profession, it doesn't matter. That women make a descending amount of money on a scale, starting with Asian American women who will make somewhere around 83 cents to his dollar. A white woman will make around 78 cents to his dollar. A black woman will come in and make around 64 cents to his dollar. A Latino woman around 54 cents to his dollar. And a Native woman will make around 48 cents to his dollar. And they say, well, Royce, well, maybe they have different this and different that. No, this is with the same qualifications, the same background, the same amount of experience, the same education, the same everything. And it's a descending scale for men and women and people of different race. That isn't me or black people or people of color playing the race card. That's how this country is framed. So when you look at when people talk about Shedeur Sanders, is it possible, not that he's playing the race card, but that the race card has been played on him? And when we talk about race, I want people who are people of color, who are non-black people, to think about the possibility of what is going on. In my book called The Ghetto Grave Dodger, it was so very important to me to talk about race. I talk about it in a section called Black Hawk Down, my experiences of learning about race. When I went away to a place, the University of Iowa, which was a non-majority place for people of color. And so it was my first time outside of Detroit, which we know is predominantly people of color, predominantly African-American city. And what I learned there, and I talk about things like implicit bias. And the reason why I talk about this is that understanding race as a person of color and as a non-person of color is very important to your success. And I use it in the backdrop of talking about social and emotional learning, and it is emotional intelligence being taught through social and emotional learning. And this is so powerful. The reviewers of my book talked about that my book needs to be taught and used in every school. So go out and buy my book. Go to DEIapparel.com where you can grab some great hoodies, some great t-shirts, and also to grab my book, because I think that understanding race as you understand self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship skills, responsible decision-making, and the strategies that come in this book can drastically jumpstart, change, help, give you the ability to create a better life for yourself, no matter what it is that you do, no matter what industry that you are in, no matter what you do in your life. It is that powerful of a book that I wrote during the pandemic because I knew that people were going to need help on the other side, in particular young people, but this book is for everybody. So go to DEIapparel.com, grab some hoodies, grab some shirts, grab this book. You will not be disappointed. I promise you.